Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry if you can hear the rain. It's kind of pouring right now, so I'm so sorry. So today I have an exciting video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about 21 books that I want to read this year. And if you guys know, I'm not much of a reader anymore. So 21 books is going to be a mission for me. If you guys want to know what I want to read this year, then keep on watching. Okay, so some of these books are not necessarily new books or 2021 releases. Some of them are books that I've had, you know, on my Goodreads that I've been wanting to read for a very long time and I just haven't been in the mood to read. Some of these are also new release books or recent books from last year that I just never got around to. So keep that in mind. So the first book that I want to read this year is called The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This book came out last year in February. And I've heard good things about it and I've been wanting to read it just because I've been getting into psychological thriller books. That's a book that I just have been wanting to read and it's just there. I don't know really much about it, but I still want to read it. The second book that I want to read is called The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher, and that book just recently came out last month. I'm still in January, so I get to say last month, but came out December 29, I believe. I've never read a Taryn Fisher book, but I want to. I have my list on my phone. That's why I'm looking at it. And this book does have a 4.7 or 8 stars. It's not a full 4. The third book is Layla by Colleen Hoover. So I love anything Colleen Hoover. I feel like she is the best romance author that just breaks your heart all the freaking time and makes you cry all the time, because all her books are very heartbreaking and very serious issues that just catch you in your feels. However, this book was her first, I believe this book, or I don't know if it was variety, but it was the first books that she wrote as a mystery thriller book. So it has some romance in it, which is okay, but a lot of people are saying this book's actually really good. So I'm excited to read it. I don't have it. I haven't purchased a Colleen Hoover book since the last book that I bought, which is All You're Perfect. And the reason why I haven't bought any books from her is because I haven't read that book yet. So I had no reason to go and, well, I had a reason to go and buy them. I just never went to go buy them. So I really want to read this one. This one is a 4-star reviews. So maybe it's good. I don't know. We will see. The fourth book is called Shameless by Maya Hughes. Now, I know that this one is very steamy, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. Okay? It's the first book to the Kings of Rittenhouse. I think it's a series. I want it. I have been wanting to read very steamy books. I just don't know which ones to go for, and I've been following this girl on TikTok, and she highly recommends this book if I want steamy romance kind of books. And it's a full series, so I want it. And she hyped me up and she made it sound very good. So I want to start reading this book. I haven't looked at any reviews for the series or this book in particular, so I don't know if it's as good as they say it is. But I'm gonna still go for it. Now, the next one is, I've been wanting to also get into Renaissance romance, or what is the word? Yeah, Renaissance romance? Historical romance. Why did I say Renaissance? I've been wanting to get into more historical romance books. I'm not a big fan of that genre, just because I'm not a big fan of historical stuff. Just because sometimes I don't understand what they're saying. I am not very well educated on things from back then, let alone what the heck they're trying to tell me or what certain things are. I've never picked up a book that has to do with her historical romance. They bore me so much. If you are like me and everyone else in the world right now, you've seen Bridgerton. And I know Bridgerton has been out for a while, and I've never read the books. I've seen the show and it got my attention and I kind of really liked it. It's by Julia Quinn, and she, you know, has a whole series about all the siblings, and so I want to read it. I'm not gonna read The Duke and I just because I just saw the show and I don't want to compare the show with the book, because I know that they're not gonna be that similar, just because they're never similar. Any book to movie adaptation is never the same, so I don't want to go off of that. So I'm gonna just start off with the second book, which is The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is about Anthony. The first boring Yeah, I don't understand why she put Daphne as the first book. I never understood that. I'm pretty sure there's a reason for it. I just don't know what it is. The next book that I want to read is actually a book that came out last month, I guess I could say, January 5th. It's called The Wife Upstairs. It's a suspense thriller book. It sounds interesting to me. I don't know if I'll actually get around to reading it, but it is a book that I really want to read. I've never read anything by Rachel Hawkins. I don't know anything about the author or the writing of the book. This one does have a 4 out of 5 stars, so maybe it's good, maybe it's not. So like everyone else, this book has been out there and everyone's been trying to look for it and they can never find it because they're always out of stock. It's the book The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I've never read any of the books by her, so I know nothing of this world. I know this one is different than the world I think that she made in the other books. However, this book actually sounds very, very interesting and I really want to read it just because I never have read a synopsis of a book that takes place in a year that I just don't like. Like I said, I don't like historical books or any war books or any books that have to do with eras of back then. I just don't like it. And so when I read the synopsis, I was kind of actually intrigued by it because it's about a girl named Addie who is cursed, and so everyone she meets, they forget about her until like literally one day someone actually remembers who she is, and it's just like, whoa, 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 hold on, what do you mean you remember me? Which is why I really, really want to read. I really want to pick it up, so maybe when I go to Target, I don't know when I will, but when I do go, maybe I'll buy it. Okay, so this is my 8th book that I want to read. Now this one I've been hearing good things about, and a lot of people have been liking it and have become one of their favorite books, and it's the first book. I think she's doing what, a trilogy, a series, I don't even know, but it's the first book to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and that is what it's called. But it's by Holly Jackson. It's about a schoolgirl who was murdered by this one person, and everyone was so sure that this person murdered that girl, and after someone else comes up murdered, they're kind of like not sure if this person was the one who actually murdered them. This other girl, I guess in high school, picks it as a project to do, and she starts discovering all these secrets from that time, and it just sounds so good and interesting, and I really, really like mystery. So I am like, this one's like my top ones right there that I really want to pick up and read. It's almost hitting 5 stars, which is crazy. The 9th book that I want to read, it's The Night Swim by Megan Golden. My bad. This book came out last year in August, and I never picked it up because every book that I find is hardcover, and I don't think they have paperback. At least I haven't found one in paperback. I've gone to Barnes & Noble, I've gone to Target. Both of them are hardcover, but it's so expensive. It's like almost $18, and I'm like, yeah, no. Because what if I don't like the book? You get me? But I've been hearing good things about it, so I know that it's good. I know it takes place like as a true crime podcast, and I'm intrigued. I don't listen to podcasts. I like anything that has to do with crime, mystery, and thrillers, as I've said many, many times now. I'm still debating if I want to pay those $18 or if I just want to get it from the library. So I've been wanting to read this one for a while. It came out in 2018. It's called The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. I'm iffy about this one. I don't know if it's something that I'm gonna like. I do know that it's about a woman who doesn't go out of her house, and she witnesses something across the street from her new neighbors that just came in through a window. That's about it. The next one is The Girl He Used to Know by Tracy Garvis Grave. I've been having this one on my list forever, and by being forever I just meant last year. But I've been wanting to read it and I just haven't, so I'm gonna make sure that this year is the year that I read it for sure. The next one is Beach Read, which I also have right here, by Emily Henry. This one was so hyped in 2020, and I picked it up and I just never read it. I'm a little intimidated because it's a little thick with the double C, but I don't know, like I'm trying to find and get in the mood to read it. I just haven't been in the mood to read it, even though I need to. So we're gonna do something about that. We're gonna do something. The next one, it's actually the second book to the Brown Sisters trilogy. It's Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hilbert. I still don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm so sorry. I don't have this book, I believe. I don't even know if I have it. I don't think I do. But I really enjoyed the first book, so I want to read the second one. Is it gonna happen? Maybe not. But if it's just like this first one, then I think I will enjoy it. So the next time I go out, I will definitely pick it up. This book I actually read a very long time ago when it was on Wattpad, and they finally, well, not finally, they had made it into a book, and I just never picked it up and I never continued reading it. But it's called The Bad Boys Girl by Blair Holden. I remember enjoying this one when I was reading it on Wattpad, and I never finished it, I think, because I don't know if she has stopped writing it or she finished to a certain part because she was gonna publish it, and I never picked up the book, and I want to, and I think it's on Amazon, so I think I'm gonna pick it up. I mean, well, buy it, because obviously I can pick it up. But there's actually 2 books in this one, so, which I didn't know. I thought it was just the first book, so I really want to read it now. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas has been a book that has been in my radar for very long, and everyone loves this book, and I want to be part of it. So I want to be part of that fan club. So it's definitely a book that I'm definitely, like, for sure gonna make myself read this year. It's not gonna be anytime soon though, because I want to get other books read and over with before I, like, fully commit myself to that one. I do have the second book just in case I really love it and I could just start the second one. Y'all heard me talk about this book in my last few videos, I think, or in my last video and earlier in this one. But the one that I really want to read is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I never read it. I bought it and I went to go get a sign, and I have yet to read it because when I was reading that, I had finished reading, I think, I don't know if it was It Ends With Us. I think that was a book before that one. I never got to read it because I didn't want to get heartbroken. I was scared. So it's just been sitting there collecting dust, and it is time that I read that book. The next one is by Stephanie Garber. It is called Legendary, and it is the second book to the series. I don't know if it's a series or a trilogy. So it is the second book to the trilogy, and I read the first one. After that, I didn't read any of the one because when I read the first one, the last 2 books weren't even out yet. So I just never went back to check up on them. And now they're finished, completed, I believe. I don't know if there's going to be a 4th book. I have no idea. But I want to read the second one so badly because I really enjoyed the story. And this is the only story that I actually really like the fantasy world in it. And I'm not a big fan of fantasy, so that has to say something. It probably has to be really good for me to enjoy it. And it was a book that I actually really enjoyed. I want to read P.S. I Still Love You, which is the second book from Jenny Han. I have it. I haven't read it. It's there. And I just bought the 3rd book, so I have to read it now. It's a book that's been there that I have been needing to read. The next book is a book that's been out for years now. I never finished the series. I don't know. I've always never finished reading. I love it. I love the characters, but I just never finished the series, and I need to, and I really want to. This one's called Beautiful Oblivion, and it's by Jamie McGuire. She used to be one of my favorite authors. Beautiful Disaster was one of my favorite books and the first book that I read of hers, and I just loved it so much. And I never finished the series of Beautiful Disaster or the Maddox brothers, and Beautiful Oblivion is the first book to the Maddox brothers, so I believe it's the 3rd book to Beautiful Disaster. I don't know how to make it make sense, but if you know, you know. Now the 20th book is actually a book that came out a very long time ago as well. It's by Estelle Mascamé, and it's the second book to the Dimly series, or to the Dimly trilogy, whatever. It's called Did I Mention I Need You? I was a fan of the first book. I'm not saying it's my favorite, but I really like the story, so I want to continue it, and I want to finish the trilogy. I don't know if it's a trilogy, but I want to finish it. I don't know if I have the second book. I know that I have the first one, but I'm not sure if I have the second book, so I'm gonna have to purchase it as well. But it's something that I really want to read just because I actually enjoyed the story. It was something quick and for me to read, so I think that's why I want to read it. Last and final book that I want to read this year is called The Last Time We Say Goodbye by Cynthia Hand. And I've had this book on my Goodreads and on my thrift books wish list for so long, and I've never read it. I really want to, and it's just been a book that's been there, that's been sitting there, and that I want to read it. Never got around to read it. I don't even know if I have it. I want to say I have it, and I just never read it. And I know it deals about death, so it's kind of an if I want to read it type of situation. I think I have to be in a really good mood to read it. So I know this video has been so long, but don't worry, we are done. If you guys read any of these books, let me know down below what you guys thought about them. I would love to discuss some things with you guys about the books. Hopefully I get around to reading most of these books. Hopefully I read them all. Can't guarantee it because there's most likely that I won't. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!